Good evening friend, you are most welcome to Civil Affairs channel in which we are going to discuss social anthropology by Maan IGNOU, mane004 gender and society, in which we are going to discuss theorizing gender, unit 1, theoretical notion of gender, unit 2, feminist theories and feminist politics, unit 3, historical development of the study of gender in anthropology, theorizing gender, introduction part. This block seeks to help the learners understand the need to theorize gender. Gender permeates out lives in various ways, and it is often difficult to see the web of connection and social formation in which gender exists. We need theories in order to help us uncover these and also to think about how they affect individual and collective lives. We will also see that our ways of thinking about gender may itself be caught up in existing power knowledge systems. Theories help us step back from our common sense and examine our automatic and natural understanding of gender. As students of the anthropology, we need to be aware of the relation between anthropology and the feminist school of thoughts. It is basically an attempt to dismantle a dominant assumption that anthropology is basically male and Eurocentric and thus incapable of addressing and accommodating the reality of diversity in it. However, it has unchanged. However, it has changed with the advent of postmodern and post-structural feminist theories, and it is now time to explore more innovative themes and ways of doing feminism in anthropology as well as anthropological feminism. Moreover, several ethnography oriented studies begin to propose the primacy of understanding each culture in its own term and context. This, in a way, not only erodes ethnocentric and Eurocentric biases from both of the from both of these disciplines, but also opens up large avenues for common research. Anthropological anthropological advances in the study of gender have increased the awareness of women within anthropology in terms of ethnographic studies as well as in sophistication of theoretical analysis. This has challenged beliefs, especially regarding hunting, human origins, women's productive and reproductive roles in the society, as well as the ability of women to do many of the roles that men do today. Such studies have become a great interest to both men and women. These concerns and issues of gender and anthropology are covered in the lessons in this block, namely Unit 1 Theoretical Notion of Gender, Unit 2 Feminist Theories and Feminist Politics, and Unit 3 Historical Development of Study of Gender in Anthropology. First unit, theoretical notion of gender. Contents are introduction part, seeing gender, thinking about gender, biological essentialism and social constructivism, thinking beyond essentialism and constructivism, theorizing gender, psychoanalytical theories, feminist psychoanalytical thought in America, feminist psychoanalytical thought in France, literary theories, theories of gender performativity, queer theory and the summary. Learning objectives are, after going through this unit, you will be able to appreciate why we need to theorize gender, critically examine and evaluate some prominent theories of gender, and consider how these can be used in study of human societies. Introduction part. What are some of the prominent ways in which gender has been understood and theorized? In trying to address these questions, this lesson begins by trying to unveil some of our commonsensical perceptions of gender. It then proceeds to understand the difference between the notion of sex and gender. Thereafter, it explores the difference between those who consider gender to be an essential quality of human being and those who think it to be socially constructed. This chapter will also explore some important modes of theorizing gender, psychoanalytical theories, literary theories, theory of gender performativity and queer theory. Seeing gender, let's imagine that we are sitting in a tea shop looking out at the busy road outside. Let's further imagine that as a time pass exercise, we dare each other to see gender in the world about us. What a simple unchallenging exercise it would be. We would quite easily be able to identify everyone around us as man or woman, girl or boy. There might be an odd baby or a strangely dressed person who might make us pause, or perhaps we might spot a group of hijras in the street corner, but for the most part, seeing gender is a no brain exercise. It is everywhere, it is evident, identifiable, and already known. So, why do we need theories of gender? Let's place this question on the table and take another look about us. Is it the case that only people are gendered? What about the pink cycle, that pink cycle leaning on the lamppost? What makes us think of it as a ladies' cycle, and the 100cc bike that is parked beside it as 100% male? What makes those pair of blue jeans ladies jeans and the other equally blue one male jeans? What imparts gender to inanimate things? Then again, look at the people who are nonchalantly laughing on the road. Why are all of them men? Why do all the women look as though they are outside for a purpose, walking briskly to their destinations, waiting for buses, shopping, or some such? Are spaces gendered? Do different people traverse the same space like the road in gender specific ways? Then again, look, why is it that all the workers in our tea shop are men and almost all the vegetable hawkers on the road are women? Are different kinds of labor gendered? Are workspaces? And is it the same in all societies and all times? Hey, you whisper. Was the waiter as he bears the bill to that table? The woman is carrying a big handbag. The man's purse is nowhere in sight. But sure enough, the waiter hands the bill to the man and he unthinkingly digs into his pocket. The woman looks on expressionlessly. Are social expectations, behaviors, and interactions gendered? Activity 1. Conjure up another everyday scenario and attempt to see how gender operates in this circumstance. Consider how you can classify and analyze the way in which you have seen gender in this context. Clearly, we are already extending what it means to see gender. It turns out now that it is not only people who are gendered, the things we use, the spaces and institutions that we occupy, the manner in which we occupy them, the work that we do, our social expectations, aspirations all appear to be gendered. So, what is it we see when we admit that we see gender? Is gender a noun? Is it object, people, our, or is gender an adjective, properties and qualities that objects and people have which mark them as feminine or masculine? In other words, is the pink bicycle gendered because of its thingness or because of its pinkness or both? How can we tell? To examine this puzzle differently, when we saw the gender of people who were around us, what did we see as constituting their gender? Which returns us to the question we had placed on the table: why do we need to theorize gender? Activity 2. Go back to the scene of the tea shop. Can you differentiate the notion of sex and gender in that scene? Also consider whether class, caste, religion, reason, race, etc. get interwoven with gender. For instance, we had noted that most women used the road only for passing through. The assumption seemed to be that women could not comfortably inhabit public spaces, and yet about what about the vegetable vendors we saw? Does their gender stop them from occupying unfeminine spaces? We have already begun to answer that question in some measures. We have begun to concede that gender is not something that we see as easily and as effortlessly as we first thought. To analyze what we take to be common sense, to question what we take as natural, can be an extremely demanding task, so much so we often need special kinds of aids in order to see and understand gender. How do we begin to make sense of its immense multiplicity? How do we classify, analyze, and think seriously about its causes, its impact? Theories about gender offer us their explanatory potential. Thank you very much.